All right, guys, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to our morning note. It is Thursday, March 11th, 2021. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of G.A.R Capital. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join me. Before we begin, make sure to click bottom right-hand corner of your screen. It should be a little white box with our logo. Turn on notifications, subscribe to our channel. Really do appreciate it as always. And thanks so much for taking the time out of your day. Let's go ahead and talk markets, shall we? Dow futures up 97 points. NASDAQ futures catch a nice bid up 1.6%. S&P futures up 0.6%, 39.20. We're going to go over that chart here in a second. Russell 2000 up about 20 points, 23.05. Bitcoin futures up 1.39%. Spot Bitcoin right now, the price is 56,722. Let me see if I can bring up the daily chart on Coinbase Pro. All-time high is 58,487. I think that we're going to go ahead and break that this weekend with the passage of the stimulus deal. Crude oil futures are up 1.30%, 65.26 a barrel. Again, still riding energy, so we've been doing. I still have ExxonMobil calls in the money. They are breaking out now. Gold futures up 0.31%. I have some gold calls as well. Silver futures up 0.61%. Let's see here. 10-year bonds are catching some bids. Euro dollar 119.52. up 24 pips. ECB is going on 108.58 on the dollar yen. Excuse me, up 19 pips currently from our forex people. Dollar index down 0.21%, 91.62, and the VIX is down 2.44% at 22.01. All right, let's go ahead and go over some headlines, and we'll go over some pre-market movers. OPEC points to weaker market outlook as it keeps a lid on supply. Obviously, that's good for oil prices. Gas is going to go up, but again, I've been saying it for a while in an inflationary environment, or in the fact that we get rotation. Energy still needs to pick up. So I've been riding energy stocks for a while and financials. It's no secret. I've been talking about that now for weeks. Jobless claims is every Thursday. 712,000 initial claims. Estimate was 725,000, so better than expected. Continuing claims, which is 4.1 million. The expectation was 4.2 million, so less than expected. 4.144 million, excuse me. Let's see, there's a big auction later today for U.S. 30-year yields. They just touched their highs. 30-year bonds, the yields just touched their highs. There's an auction later today. JD.com is up 6% after beating revenue and earnings estimates and strong online demand. It's a great company. I do own Alibaba. I do not own JD. White House Economic Advisor DC says will constantly monitor for inflation risk. ExxonMobil Morgan Stanley raises price target to $71 from $60. Good for our calls. I have the 61 calls. White House Economic Advisor Deese also says COVID-19 relief direct payments expected to go out this month. We went ahead and posted on Instagram, so if you have any want to see exactly what you're going to get depending on your income, whatever, it's there. You can always Google and see what your stimulus check would be. D.R. Horton raised by as JP Morgan sees earnings growth through 2022, price target 105. I own that stock, which is DHI. D.R. Horton, again, that's housing. I bought in at 67.98. It's now at 83.95 on the bid. On the ask, I'm up about 23.5% on that stock. Again, congratulations to our investment club members that own it. Congratulations to our investment club members that bought the dip with me on certain stocks. Also, want to keep a look at Roblox. Obviously, they just came out, but you know me, waiting for the IPO. I want to wait for that earnings report. The only IPO where I will buy the same day is Coinbase. Let me make that clear. Coinbase, I will buy the same day, but Roblox, I'll wait for an earnings report. Why Coinbase? Because I'm very bullish on crypto, obviously. SpaceX was awarded individual firm fixed price task orders totaling 160 million under National Security Space Launch Phase 2. Space should be up with that. They're up about $1.50 pre-market, which is nice to see. I own Space, which is Virgin Galactic. Target announces a quarterly dividend of 68 cents per share. Tesla, Mizuho initiates Tesla coverage with a buy rating of 775 price target. Nice gap up on Tesla from the lows of 669 to nearly $700 a share. We tapped 718 yesterday and fell back down to the close of 668. Apple starts iPhone 12 assembly in India. Apple's up on the news with a nice gap up there at 122. Haven't really traded Apple lately, just for the simple fact that we still need a little more to get out of this range. So let's go ahead and place an alert at 123. If that happens, then I can start taking a look at some calls maybe for next week, not for this week. Palantir and Farencia embark on a long-term strategic partnership to accelerate its digital transformation and ambition to be CO2 neutral. Palantir. That's tweeted on our page. Take a look at that. I own Palantir. Bullish on it. I had an alert at 25.57. I saw a lot of volume on that stock, but again, the charts didn't match it. So again, it's not as simple just to look at volume. Again, you need to have the charts line up with everything. So Palantir is nice. It's breaking out. The question is, do we get the volume maybe for next week? I would target maybe 27, if not 28. Also, last bit here. Kathy Wood's ARK bought 500,000 shares of Roblox on its IPO debut on Wednesday. So there you go. There's something there. We're going to go ahead and go over pre-market movers. If I can get that going. Pre-market movers. Here we go. And I'll go ahead and move that. Our headlines are courtesy of TweetDeck or Twitter, where we retweet everything as we go. Again, if you don't follow us on Twitter, you're really missing out. Let's see. AMC did report earnings yesterday. They beat. They're up 6.6% pre-market. Roblox is up 13% pre-market as well, probably due to Kathy Wood's ARK buy. Apple up 2%, Boeing up 1.89%. I had Boeing calls yesterday. For the students, we had the 250 calls. They're almost near the money. They were for next week, so we went ahead and took it for 30%, so well done. Disney's up 0.70%. JP Morgan catching a slight bid. Walmart bouncing with the stimulus deal passing 0.64%. They should be able to get some benefit out of that. Goldman Sachs basically flat. On the S&P, General Electric still taking a little bit of a slide, down 4.23%. AMD, Micron up over 2%. Good for our shares in AMD and NVIDIA. Obviously, American Airlines up 0.92%. I own calls, but definitely red on it. Let's go to the NASDAQ here. Facebook up 1.26%. JD on their earnings up 5.68%. Tesla up 4.45%. So far so good. Everything looking nice and green in your portfolio this morning if you're in tech. Okay, let's go ahead and answer some questions. Good morning. Good morning. Blink or Facebook or Lulu levels, sir? Yeah, let's go and take a look. Blink, if you're talking about calls, we need to get to around 39.24, 35. Again, I still love the stock long term. Facebook, if you're looking at levels here, you need to get above 270.55 before you do anything. There is a Fibonacci level here to play by, but I would say 270.55 is your target. Is to break out first. And Lulu, Lulu, and Lulu looking nice too, but not much on the volume side and options, so I don't trade options on it. But a nice V-shaped recovery. I own shares, looking great. Roblox, again, I don't buy stock on an IPO until they report their earnings. The only exception will be Coinbase for me. Good morning, Carlos. What's a good support resist level for Citibank? Well, Citibank has been on the move to the upside. It's going to test that 74 level. If you're looking to buy any kind of bank stock, I think Citi's fine. I think Morgan Stanley's fine. Goldman Sachs and JPM are probably the top two, and I own JPM. So I think here is a fine level if you're looking for longer term. I wouldn't go too heavy on banks. They're a highly regulated industry. So the best bet would be to buy one investment bank like a Goldman Sachs or a Morgan Stanley or a BlackRock, and then have a commercial bank, a big commercial bank like a Citi or JPM. Those are the only two I would recommend. Good morning. Yep, we talked about that. Yeah, the fact that she bought Roblox, that's cool. Again, I'm not going to buy something just because she buys it. Is it nice that if you own something, she buys it? Sure. But I think there's more to it than just someone else buying. IWM looking nice. Absolutely. I do have some calls personally. I have the 230 calls for next week, so that's going to be looking very, very solid. Very happy about that. I should be able to catch that today. How about AMC? AMC, we caught some unusual options activity on it, the $10 calls earlier this week. If you want to take a look at it in our Discord, you can see about some Schlumberger yesterday. We did a little Disney magic. AMC was right here. See the UOAs, 23,780 vol, NASDAQ 92, the $10 calls, and they were solid. They got it to 30%, took it. I still have Western Union. I have some Nike calls, the 140s. I'll go ahead and show you where we are on that. And you can see right there, nearly 139.10. So it's up nearly $1 pre-market. Once we break 139.10, and remember, these Nikes are for April 16th, so I got a couple of months ahead of me. I got next month ahead of me for that one. That one should hit. I had Palantir. I was looking at it, and you can see I actually typed it up here on the unusual options activity. Palantir has some vol on the June 18th, but the chart doesn't support buying calls here. Man, don't I wish I got some of those, but again, the chart didn't support it. But I also have some Schlumberger calls that I posted on Twitter. The 40 calls with 12,000 vol at the ask of 71, the June 18th one. So you could see if I put Schlumberger, it's up nicely. It's up about 30 cents, but again, the chart looks very, very nice, and it's for June. So, and it wasn't really that expensive. It was 71 cents. So if you like unusual options activity, you need to be a premium member or a masterclass student in order to get it. Again, that's something that we'll be following. We always do that. If I post it on unusual options activity, I'm always in it. Okay, Walmart looking great. Again, we talked about that on the pre-market movers. Looks like it's breaking out of that ugly range down there that fall. Thoughts on Amazon pre-market dump and dump again? Amazon is an amazing company long term, and it's absolutely just gapped up. So again, you stick with that name, 100%. WFC calls. Yeah, Wells Fargo has absolutely been on a tear, but Citi has been too. JPM has been kind of sideways, but I haven't seen tons of volume in WFC, honestly, with options, so I haven't really traded it. But I traded XLF, where Wells Fargo is part of it. Thoughts on how to close XOM? Well, XOM's in the money, so we're going to see exactly how we do today. We should be able to be green. Thoughts on CHPT, LMD, and Teladoc? Teladoc is great. I don't like Lemonade, which is Insure. I would skip that. And CHPT, I don't know much about them, so I can't give you information on that. My apologies. THCX is an amazing company long term. You stick with it. Absolutely. That's the ETF for cannabis companies. If you are bullish on cannabis companies down the line as the sector grows and possible federal legalization, you stick with THCX. Crypto besides BTC and ETH, right? Nope, those are the two I buy every week. Are you expecting some sort of catalyst on Whoop? On Western Union, the catalyst is the volume activity. Again, you're talking about this is for what, May? Again, you got to stick with it here. I think it's a great trade. Again, it's still above the 50-day moving average. Again, if you start getting down to 24.25 or 24.20, then I could revisit that, but I have tons of time on that. NIO Apple calls for Friday expiration? Absolutely not. We're not going to put that risk on the table. Thoughts on Square 250 calls for 319? Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a terrible play. I think the 250 calls, again, you need a little more. So you're talking about for next week. If you broke I would have waited for the break of 240 first. But let's see what you get today. BA chart, BA we played yesterday. The students looking very solid. It's breaking out. 250 would be the next target. Actually, really 260 would. Apple reversal likely in the coming months. No, I think the worst is over with tech. I said that on Monday. I think the worst is over. I think Apple bounces back very beautifully. So too late to get an SLB calls. That's really up to you. Again, we have those for June, so that's really up to you. Carlos firefighter here. I heard your fire alarm chirp. Check those batteries and be safe. No, that wasn't the fire alarm. My wife is in the other room doing something, but there's no fire alarm. Might be able to get into woo. Is it back to the call level? I have to see exactly where we are at the open. But again, right now, WU for me, I'm down about 32% on the actual call, but I'm willing to hold it. I'm not really worried about it. I got until May, so not really sweating it. What do you think about Aphria and Tilray? I think it's better to buy THCX where you don't have single stock risk like these cannabis names. Look at Tilray, all that volatility, and THCX doesn't have that crazy volatility. Just a heads up. There's a continuation. There's a gap up, sure. But again, in order to kind of get out of this fall, you need to get to around 722. 722 would really get us out of there, and there's a slight gap on Tesla. I'll show you right here. If we break 722, your next gap up is 781. That would be your next target. IPOE. I've never heard of this name. I don't know what IPOE is, so I can't give you information on it. If you're just looking at the chart, 2125 would be the level to break out of. Thoughts on CRM? I think CRM is an amazing company. I don't own it personally, but it's part of my SPY-G ETF, so I love it. So that's where we are. Should be a solid day today. Got some stuff open. Definitely going to get XOM today. I got those Nike calls. I think Nike's going to hit today. I have some IWM personally. A GLD we also had a signal, so we should be able to catch that today. It's looking very solid. We have this 162.5. So again, if you're interested in unusual options activity, again, I talk about sometimes on Twitter, but our Discord guys get it first. So just a heads up. Thoughts on Chamath SPAC? Which one? Yes, tons. All right, team. But we'll go ahead and leave it there. I'm gonna get ready for the rest of the day. Have a great rest of your day, guys. We'll catch you guys tomorrow for the morning note. And if you want to sign up for our services, G.A.R Capital FX.com is the site. I will catch you guys later. Thanks for your time, guys.